Hey YouTube, it's Charlie from Reader Turned Writer. Today I am really excited to be sharing the way that I organize my Google Docs with writing. This is definitely a video of me just being organizing nerdy, so if you love organizing and love to see the way other people organize their stuff, then stick around. If not, then I guess I'll catch you in my next video. I do love to organize, and I love to have systems for everything that I do. So I'm just going to walk you through on my computer how I have all of my stuff organized for my different projects. So I currently use Google Docs for all of my writing related stuff. So if you come onto my drive, you can see I have a lot of folders here because I like to organize things, but we're going to come into novels. Now I have a lot of novels that I had started previously that are in a different folder for past writing stuff that I was doing, but all of my current novels, all two of them, are here in this folder. So you see I have my Rapunzel retelling, which is what I'm currently working on. I am on the third draft of this, and my next project is a Cinderella retelling here. This document here, which is just a blank form that I have, is just what I am currently trying for outlining, which is the different Save the Cat beats that I can go in and I can fill out, and then underneath that is actually where I start, and I just have some different questions that I want to know about the character and the plot before I actually outline, more in the brainstorming stage. And I just have it here, and I just copy and paste it into a new document under whichever folder of whatever project I am working on. So I always have this as kind of a form that I can fill out, so I don't have to redo it every time. So if we come into my Rapunzel retelling folder here, so here we have some different things. So these two are just documents that I will eventually end up putting into either draft 1 or draft 2 folder when I am totally done with the writing process, but for now I have them here so I can reference them easily if I want to. Now under draft 1, you can see I just have all of my draft 1 stuff. I have a few different documents for draft 1. I have an outline that I did before I wrote the book. I have an outline that I did when I reverse outlined my first draft, and some character stuff that I did. And so all of that is just stuff that I did before I got to draft 2. And draft 2 is similar. It just has less documents, but it just has some draft 2 stuff, some different individual chapters. I don't actually know why that's in here, but whatever, some outline stuff that I did in brainstorming. And so all of the draft 1 and draft 2 stuff, and then I'll put anything that I did. So these two documents here will probably go into draft 2 because I'll put whatever I did before draft 3 into draft 2 at this point. Okay, so now we have my chapter by chapter folder, and this is just where I have all of the chapters broken up into my novel, so I can easily go into whichever chapter I am working on. It also makes it really easy to share for my writing group. For my writing group, we share about 1,500 words a week and then review each other's words at writing group. And so what I do is I have this document here just on the main Rapunzel page where I'll put, right now I'm working on chapter 15. So I'll take all of the words except the first 1,500-ish words from my chapter by chapter one, and I'll put the rest of the words in here. And then I'll share the first 1,500 words. And then I will come to this chapter 15 document, and I'll take the next 1,500 words the next week, put it onto the document so they can comment on it, and delete those words from this chapter so I know exactly where I'm at with what they have commented on yet. That way it's less confusing for them to figure out what they're supposed to be commenting on, but I can still keep my organization the way that I want it to be. Now in my chapter by chapter, this is where I am currently editing. This is where I'm always editing. A lot of it is different from my first draft, but these are the same documents. I actually have some comments on here from the very first draft that I shared with my writing group. I will comment on it too to leave notes and stuff for myself. This is just where I edit stuff, and then when I want to put it into one of my drafts, like my draft 1, let's say, so when I was drafting, what I would do is I would write the chapter, and then when I was done with the chapter, I would put it over onto my draft 1 document so I could see how many words total I was at to help motivate myself so I could see the word count growing. I didn't actually do that with draft 2, I just kept with the chapter by chapter, and then once I was finished, I created a document for draft 2 and I put all of my words in there and saw the total word count and printed off the documents so that I could physically go through and mark things. This really helps me so I can always have a version of whatever draft that I am working on, but then also have all of my notes from writing group and everything in the same place so that I'm not losing anything that I've written. So yeah, that is basically the organization that I have for and the system that I have for my writing. I really like systems. I really like organization. So I would love to hear how you organize your writing or what programs you use in the comments below. And I also have a question for you if you have done beta reading. So I have been a beta reader before for a couple different people, and they've all sent me their book on Google Docs so that I could comment on it. And as a beta reader, I didn't actually like it because it was one giant document. So first, every time I would open it up, I'd have to find my previous spot and I'd have to wait for the whole thing to load. So what would happen is I'd go and I would read a few chapters in it and comment on those chapters. And then I wouldn't want to actually go back the next day because I knew I'd have to open up the document, it would have to load, I'd have to find my spot again, and it was kind of a big pain. So I don't want to do that for my beta readers. I was considering sharing the chapter by chapter folder with them so that all of the chapters are in their own individual document. And so my first question for you is, would that be really annoying to you to have to switch to a new document for every chapter? My chapters are usually between 3,000 and 7,000 words, so they're not super short, but you would still have to switch out of what you were reading and move on to a new document in order to get to the next chapter. Or would you find that useful because then you could say, okay, I'm going to read 3 chapters today or 4 chapters today, and then you could go and read those 4 chapters and the next day it'd be really easy to find the 5th chapter or whatever. That's the idea behind it, is that it would make it easier for the beta readers, but they could still comment. My second question is, do you know of a program that works better for beta reading? I have heard a lot about Scrivener recently. I am not sure it's worth it for me to switch over to Scrivener, but do they have a way for people to comment on your work as beta readers, or is it solely there to help you outline and write your book? I really don't know very much about Scrivener. Or is there another program that you use for beta reading? I would love to hear all of your secrets or any tips that you have for beta reading. Right now I'm on the 3rd draft. As soon as I have everything kind of in place and where I want it to, I'm going to have my husband read through it, and once I fix any issues that he catches, I think I'm ready for beta readers. I'm getting closer-ish to that stage, so I'm looking ahead and trying to decide exactly how I'm going to do it. So I would love your feedback, anything at all on that. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for lots of writing content. I try and do 2 or 3 writing videos a week. Thank you so much for your support and for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.